Yeah, so this was the second assignment that you had. You were given, so they're saying there is some information, financial information actually that relate to the company in question. So a manufacturer of a special chemical used in the production of fertilizer in Zambia is here. So now what you're given is that there is all this information that you're given. So now, in order to maintain the required level of production, the company is considering making a significant capital investment of 900 million, right? They want to invest 900 million. Yeah. Now, if the company does not take this, then the business will just close. You're told that the operating costs include the depreciation of non-current assets. And this is equivalent to the tax allowable depreciation. So which means the amount of depreciation is equal to that amount of taxable allowances. You'll see the taxable allowances, they're there in that amount is equal to that of depreciation. That is what you should learn. Now, are you following up here?
Yes.
The market analysts have estimated the average beta to be 1.3. And then the share price is 1.10 per share, which is 1 kwacha 15 ngwe. 110 ngwe, same as 1 kwacha 10 ngwe. So the fixed, costs are expected to grow. The fixed costs, all of them expected to grow at 2.5% annually. And then the sales are expected to grow at 5%. The operating costs and the depreciation, they're expected to grow at what? At 4%. Please pay attention. I've already prepared the worked out solutions. I want you to pay attention so that when I get to the solutions, you know how to arrange that. So follow the question. I'm trying to explain the question. So now assume the cash flows occur at the end of the relevant period. So what is required of us doing is to evaluate the proposal using the net present value. And the proposal using
Hello? Hello, sir. Hello?
Return IRR.
Hello, sir. Hello?
Did you get that one?
You are breaking.
Yes. Internal rate of return.
Sir? Hello?
So now, can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you. I'm here. You are saying
you.
The line is
you are breaking. Starting from when you're talking about the net present value.
Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so I was saying that the question is requiring you to assess the viability of the project using net present value. Now, using the net present value, the question is, how do we go about using the net present value? Net present value is found by the negative cost of the investment plus the sum of all the present values of the future cash flows. Are you following? So what you need is the cash flows that are in the future and then discount them, bring them to the present. And as you'll be discounting them to bring them to the present, from their total, you should be less the cost of the investment, which is 900 million. Yes. Then what you have is the net present value. Okay. If the net present value is positive, then you invest in the project. But if it's negative, you don't accept the project.
Okay.
You got it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Having said that, now, the other thing that you should do, maybe be reminded of, is how do we come
Oh my God.
up with the present value?
Hello?
Reminder. We said that present value is about the future cash flow. Let's say future cash flow one, cash flows. These are cash flows, right? Let's say these are cash flows. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Oh my God.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The network is getting bad. I don't know if it's because of this.
I think it's because of the rain.
It's very bad. But we
Yeah,
don't
very
have to
bad. Like
cancel
you are.
class.
Sorry?
We don't have to cancel class. We got to continue.
So we continue.
Yes, we are continuing.
All right.
If it means changing networks, we just change networks, but not to change class. Understand?
Sorry?
We can just maybe change network. You get
We
what I'm
change
saying?
the network.
But maybe you can just try to change the networks, but not to cancel class.
I don't have
How is it now?
yes, much better.
You will be fine. I'm looking at this now. All right, so we progress. So I was saying, okay, I am from saying that the net present value is found by saying the negative cost of the investment plus the sum of the present values of the future cash flows. So you got to find the future cash flows, and then you got to, find the present values thereof. So now the question maybe that should be, how do you find the sum of the present values? This part. This part is found by saying future cash flow 1 divided by 1 plus R to the power 1, that is for year 1. Future cash flow in year 2 divided by 1 plus R raised to the second degree plus future cash flow in year 3 divided by 1 plus R raised to the third degree. Future cash flow N divided by 1 plus R raised to the degree N. Did you get that one? So
yeah, can I ask a question?
Yes, you can ask a question.
These cash flows, are they the ones that we find on that table?
Yes, we are going to, I'll talk about them. Don't worry.
Okay.
You just follow him nicely. He is always very clear in his explanations. Yeah,
All right.
just follow. So now, where is the challenge? The challenge is that number one, we don't have error. Remember the error that we use to discount the cash flows, right?
Mm-hmm.
We need the error. We don't have it. So we need to calculate WACC. We use WACC, the weighted average cost of capital. The one that, for example, the one that we did yesterday. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When you find the value of WACC, it is the WACC that we use which will be equivalent to error. So where there is error, we're going to be using WACC. You okay?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
That is very important. So you need WACC for you to manage to discount these future cash flows so that you can have this part here for the summation of the present values. You're good?
Okay. Yes.
Another thing, another issue is you don't have these cash flows. This is what is interesting. The cash flows are not there.
Mm-hmm.
You got to find the cash flows. Then you use the WACC that you're going to calculate to discount the cash flows into the present. Now you have the present values, the summation of the present values of the cash flows. Then you can deduct from their sum the cost of capital. Should it be positive, net present value, then you accept the project. Should it be negative net present value, you do not accept the project. Are you good?
Mm-hmm.
Any question from there?
No.
So where is WACC now? WACC is to establish the cash flows and also find the error to discount the cash flows. Are you good?
Mm-hmm.
So we got to calculate for WACC. Have you seen now in this question, someone can say, no, there was no WACC. You understand?
Yes.
Because we can't see the WACC here. Right? But we got to find it. And now how do we use WACC? You know, the conversation is still the same. Right? He said what shall be given by the cost of EBIT multiplied by the weight of EBIT over EBIT plus debt. You remember this conversation is the day cost of debt, 1 minus tax rate multiplies by debt all over EBIT plus debt, and then you're good. This is the what?
Sir.
Ma?
I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking, maybe I have the wrong formula.
Okay, go ahead.
How is the cost of debt 1 minus T coming in between the
this one comes in if when you are calculating the cost of debt, you have not deducted taxes. If you're using the pre-tax,
or if it's pre-tax, you have to add it in the middle.
Yes, because you have to deduct tax. But if you already deducted tax when you're finding cost of debt, there will be no need of putting minusing tax here. You got just to put cost of debt because you have already deducted tax. You're good?
Yeah.
All right. We need to find the cost of EBIT now. Looking at the data that we have just been given, maybe from here, I think, let's start analyze from here. What model do you think we can use to find the cost of EBIT?
Let me just...
Is it the dividend valuation model? Is it the capital asset price model?
Just a minute.
Look at the data you have been given.
Why am I reading the whole thing?
Not the whole thing. Just look at the information you're given in the question. You have information here. You also have some information somewhere. When you look at this information, what model can you use to find the cost of it?
I think we are using the capital asset pricing model.
Okay, so we are using the capital asset price model. I want to ask why, because I think I exerted energy yesterday explaining why. Right.
Yes.
So we have 7% plus 1.3 multiplied by 15, that's the return from the market, minus 7, all that close, so that we can have 17.4%. Are we good? That is the cost of what? Equity. What else do we need? We need cost of debt. Let's do cost of debt. How do we find cost of debt? Cost of debt shall equal the interest minus the tax. The interest on debt is 10%, right? 10%, 1 minus the tax rate. What's the tax rate? What's the corporate tax rate?
I'm still reading. Okay, just a minute. I'm still reading. Like these things are small. Okay.
Oh yeah, like you can even try to zoom them bigger.
Yeah.
We zoom.
I'm zooming.
Okay.
Oh, the corporate tax is 30. Yeah, it's 30.
Yeah, 0.30, so that you can have 7%, right? That is cost of debt. Now we have already deducted tax, which means in that formula for WACC, there will be no need of putting tax because you can't deduct the tax twice. You're good?
Yeah, so if I don't want to complicate myself, if I'm doing WACC, I just go with that formula, the one I know, but calculate cost of debt separately, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Now, what else do we need? We need the market values, isn't it? The market value of equity. How do we find it? We said it's market capitalization on equity divided by the par value of equity, all that multiplied by the share price, isn't it? That's how we get it. Yeah. What is the market capitalization? The total amount we have from equity. What is the total amount we raised from the issue of shares? It's 500 million, right? To be divided by the par value. What's the par value? What's the value of each share? It is 15 way. So divide by 0.50. This is 15 way, right? This is amount. Okay, like this one. They are saying that it issued ordinary shares at 15 way. So like the par value is 15 way in this case. Of course, many questions will say issued at par value of this much. But even if the person has not said, it's still okay. Multiply by the share price. What is the share price? What is the share price? Let's read the question a bit further. What was the share price? You've seen the share price.
The one, is it what? 110 ngwe per share. I don't know. Is it 1 kwacha? 10 ngwe.
One penny ngwe per share. What language are you using? Okay. It's 1 kwacha 10 ngwe. All right. Let's get to move. What do you find now? What's the value of it?
Just a minute. You forgive me, there's no power here.
No, it's fine. It is well. I think this will be 1 billion. When you divide by 15 way, half of that, right? This will be more like this by 2, right?
Sorry, just a minute. That's
1 billion. 1 billion times the 1.10, it should be 1 billion 1 million.
Yes. So we have
1 billion 100 million. 1 billion 100. You're good?
Yes.
This is the value of what? What is your question?
I don't have a question.
So now listen. This is equivalent to the number of shares, number of ordinary shares. This is what I've circled. In case in your question they have given you the number of shares, like in the exam you were writing, they gave you the number of shares, like there were 1 billion shares. You never needed to divide by the par value. Listen carefully. I am saying if you have number of shares given, there'll be no need of dividing like this market capitalization divided by par value. Because if you divide market capitalization by par value, it gives you the number of shares. Then you multiply by the share price.
Okay.
So that is the message. Get that one. Those are points to take home.
So
Yeah, so that
if we're given, just say it again. If
you are just given the number of shares, then you can multiply the number of shares times the share price.
Oh, that's all. Okay.
But if you don't have the number of shares, then you can find the number of shares by dividing market capitalization divided by the par value of the share. Get the point?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get to the date one. Keep these numbers, I'll call for them.
Just don't erase them. Just a minute.
There was a heavy rain here.
Even here.
I think this is now the rain season. We need to go to the farms.
Okay, so you can erase. You can erase.
Similarly, for debt, debt is found in the similar manner. It is market value of debt, market capitalization of debt divided by the par value of debt times the price of debt. So in this case, what is the market capitalization? Which is the total amount you have raised from debt. Is how much? From the issue of the loans, you have raised how much?
1,000, is it?
You have raised
no, it's
450
450 million.
Divided by the par value
of 1,000.
1,000 times what is the share price? So now listen carefully. If they say issued at par value, it means the same par value is the price. That's what it means. That's the trading price. Now, those are points to take home. Those are points to take home. Most of the questions will be clear. They will tell you that the debt is trading at this much. Then that will be the price of debt. But if they have not said it's trading at this much, then they have said it is issued at par value. Then just know that the same par value is the price.
So in short, sir, for me to know that this is for the market value of debt is because it's related to the loan.
Yes, because we say the loan is debt, right?
No, okay.
Loan, debentures, that's it. You're good? Any questions?
No.
There is no question.
No, sir.
All right. That is very, very fine. Is there any questions?
I think I'm clear up to here.
All right. So when we work out, what do we get out? That goes, you have 450 million. Is it? Are you following the math?
Yes, sir.
This is the value of what?
This is the value of debt.
Now you have everything that you need, isn't it? You have everything that you need. Then we can do our work. What is cost of equity? 17%, 0.74 multiplied by, what is our equity? Our equity is 1.1 billion.
Sir, I didn't even write it. Is it not 17.4?
That's the same.
Okay.
We put it in decimals.
All right.
What is the sum of 1100, like 1.1 billion plus 450 million? What is the sum of this?
What's this?
We want equity plus debt.
Okay. Just a minute. We have too many zeros. 110. 1, 2, 3. Plus what? 450 million, right?
Mhm.
It's
Gives
giving
you what?
me it's giving me 560
Just give me the
million.
numbers one.
56 56 000.
Is that true?
Again,
Like 1
000.
billion?
Yes, no, it's about 560 million, something like. Or maybe I didn't add well, because this is 1 billion we're talking about, right?
1.1 billion, which is 11 and 8 zeros.
Okay, just a minute. 11 to 4 plus 56. 450, sorry.
450 and 6 zeros.
Oh, now it comes to something else.
Which should be closer to the truth.
Yeah, 155. It should be 155. 155. Then 000. Then 000 again. Then 10. I don't know. How much is this one?
Okay.
Yes, 7
All right.
zeros.
Okay. So plus 0.07% of it. 450 million divided by 155,121,121, like that. Can you compute now and give us what? What is your what? Have you followed up to here?
Yes, sir. I'm
Any
computing right
questions?
now. Huh?
Any questions?
No, I'm computing.
You've seen what is becoming boring.
I don't know.
You've seen you have talked about the same thing for so long, so it's no longer interesting. You'll be good.
This way, how many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I think it says it's 7 zeros everywhere.
It's 7
Why
zeros
don't you
everywhere.
just,
What? Let's just
even on
cancel
top,
them.
why don't you just cancel the zeros? You just say 45 divided by 145. Simple.
We're going to get, yeah. So when we're canceling this, I don't know how many zeros. I'm just writing.
There are 7 down. I've cancelled them. So you remain with 45 over 155. Even here, you can cancel 7 zeros. So remain with 110 over 155. It will be something like this one: 0.174 times 110 over 155 plus 0.07 times what? 45 over 155, like this. Has it been simplified?
Yes.
What do you have?
Let me, just a minute. So since you're writing there, maybe we can start. We have 0. 0.174 by 0.709.
709.
Yes, then plus 0.07
times
times 2.903. It's not the
45
one.
divided by 55.
Oh, it's 45, not 450. Okay. That's 0.290. 0.290.
Okay, do your calculations.
Okay.
I think it should give you 14% something. You do the right thing. Okay, try.
I'm getting the wrong one.
What are you getting?
5 something, like 53%. Let me just do again.
It's not possible.
No, it's not. Maybe I did something wrong here. 709. Oh, okay. 0.1. I think this thing can just confuse you when you're calculating already. 1, 2,
Why are you getting confused? Is it because the exam is going closer? I mean, just be calm. Like I'm summarizing. You know, when you're done with this one, then you are ready for the exam.
Okay.
Yeah. I would have talked about everything. You just need to go through again and again, especially the recordings from your end. Then you can be good.
I was surprised how this man brought in some things from the assignment. So, but why am I getting 14%?
You are getting 14.
Mm.
Yeah, it's 14%. Yes, that's the one that I said. But you should get something.
It's 0.143.
Yeah.
That's 14%.
Oh yeah, that's what. That is going to be your error now that you'll be using. You're good?
Oh.
That is your error that you're going to be using. Have we covered that? We need to move on now to the part where we are establishing cash flows.
Okay.
Are you fine with this one? I think this is similar to what we did yesterday.
Yes.
Are you getting better? All right. Now let's move on. Let's establish the cash flows. Now you listen carefully, very, very carefully. It says, the fixed costs are expected to grow by 2.5 every year. So it simply means the fixed costs that we have, which would include the interest, all right? Interest on loan is always fixed cost. It is expected to grow by 2.5, right? Then the sales are growing by what?
Sir? Hello? Hello, sir?
For those in you have to hear me. Hi.
No, the network. Okay, maybe you can start again. For when you're saying about the sales.
Hello?
Yes, you're saying something to say. You're saying the fixed costs are expected to grow every year by 2.5. Then you came to the sales. That's when now you started breaking.
You have stopped hearing.
You were breaking.
You can't. I was saying that sales, if you maybe
Oh my.
By 2.5%. Then the sales are growing at rates. What is happening? Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes. Hello?
I hear me.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
The network. Hello?
Hello. Are growing at 2.5. The sales for the first year, just 1 by 5%. So just multiply the sales, for example, multiply 5. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, I can get
Yeah.
you.
I was saying that the sales that you have, you grow them by 5%. Okay? It will give you the sales for the other year. And in those sales for the other year, you grow them by what? By 5%. It will give you for the other year until you reach to year number 4.
So, in short, what this implies is the sales are growing 5% every year.
Every year, yes.
Oh, okay.
And at the same time, the costs, including depreciation, is growing at 4%.
Okay.
You get it?
Mm-hmm.
Every year. Every year. So, the data that we do have is it's historical. You've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
These are not future years. They are historical, meaning these are past years. Understand?
Mm-hmm.
So for that reason, you don't need this information in the past. Remember when you are calculating in net present value, you need the future, future values, right? You don't need the past values. So for that reason, this data is useless. But what will be more important is this current data that you're going to grow at those rates so that you can project. Yeah, so this one will be your data. This will be the sales for the first year. Actually, this will be your year 0. This will be the data for year 0. To find for the next year, you grow these. For example, these are sales. At 5%, you have for year 1. At 5% again, you have for year 2, for year 3, until year 4. You understand, right? Also, the cost, you grow this at 4%. It will give you for year 1, for year 2 again at 4%, again for year 3 at 4% until you get the 4th year. You get the point? Then, tax allowables, the tax allowables are equal depreciation. Now, what you should understand is that depreciation is not deducted from the cash flows. Why? Because it's not a cash transaction or a cash element. It does not entail the flow of cash. You're getting the point? Depreciation is just a notional cost. It's just a cost that exists in our head. It is not the cost that entails the flow of cash. So for that reason, the amount for depreciation, which is actually equivalent to these amounts, that's what we are told in the question, should actually be added. That's why this has to be added back. You get the point, right? You have to add it back. Now, you don't care for these 3 years. So we mean this one. So you have to grow this. It's part of the cost. This will grow at 4% every year. Exactly. To cater for depreciation, but it will be added. It will not be deducted. You're good?
Yes.
Then the interest costs, these are fixed costs. You've seen them, but they will be grown at 2.5%. That is what we get. You get the point, right?
Yes.
But dividends, you don't need them when you're establishing cash flows. Why? Because the dividends are paid after, after tax, like after you have already found the profit. But the cash flows that you need is a profit before interest and tax. That's a profit that you need to establish the cash flows. So which means you have not yet reached to the point where you're deducting the dividends. So the dividends don't affect this question. They were just there to confuse the end. You're good?
Yes.
But have you heard the explanation that I've given before I move to the solutions? I show you what was being done. Do you have any questions?
No.
I've said this current year, can you grow it for 4 years in the future? That will help you to establish what? The future cash flow. Then those future cash flows, you will discount them when you find them. At the rate of what? Wacc. Wacc shall be the rate that you shall use to discount.
I can't see your screen.
Don't worry. Be happy. Are you okay?
Yes, sir.
So this is what is. Let's do the calculations. Do you remember how we are finding the equity sections, the market values? Now we are calculating for what? Fast. You remember this?
Mm-hmm.
Do you also
Yes,
remember this one? Or the cost of debt?
Mm-hmm.
The sir is very dedicated. He had to sit down to work out this for you, specifically. That means I need to retire. Capital asset price model. You remember it?
Yes.
It's easy to teach at this point because you have already understood and you are able on it. You remember this?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yes.
you remember your work.
Mm-hmm. That's 7%. This was for, well, the one we found now was what?
Which one?
It's 14 point. I'm still stuck to the 40. Yeah.
It's here. That's why. This
Yeah.
7% is cost of debt.
Yes. I now see.
I now see.
I'm
Wow.
just confused with a lot of things.
Hey, tell me what is confusing?
No, I was looking at all these videos. So
Yeah. No. When you listen to me first, that's why I've been emphasizing. First, listen to me, understand what I'm saying. The videos will make sense then.
Okay.
The videos can be confusing if you just go to do them, on their own without proper understanding. But if you have listened, you have been in class, you understand what we are doing in them. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So this is the message I was sending. Let me come to the calculations first. This is how we are doing the calculations. But I was very organized, right? The sales revenue. This is how we were doing, finding. For A1, from those were for A0. Like I told you, that was class. You grow them at 5%. This is what it means. Then for cost of sales, you grow them at 4%. You have these, right? For allowable depreciation, you grow it at what? At 4% because it's part of the cost. That's what we got. And the interest, you grow it at 2.5%.
Sorry, before you go any further. So what you're doing to grow this, we were doing 1/1 plus R to the power that year. Then whatever
Not over one. No,
sorry?
see, that number that number multiplied by 1 plus R to the power N. For the first year, the number, times
okay.
Z, you get the message.
Yes,
To the
I do.
power
So
1,
that
that's
was
year
1.
1.
So that's plus 1 plus R.
Yes, 1 plus R.
Okay.
And what is your R? The growth, the rates at which you
It's
are.
5%, yeah. Okay.
You're good? That's what was happening here across. Okay? When these workings have been done, then you can bring them back. Since you understand them better, we can come to this. You just plug them into it. They are the same workings that we have done, right? Just put for a 1, for a 2, for a, you know where they have come from. We have shown the workings, right? They are all here. Taxes, you know how to find these taxes? It's 30% of this tax, this cash flow before tax. So for example, 30% of 733.7, 30%. What is 30% of that? You get it, right? It will give you this one. And 30% of it gives you that. 30% of that gives you that. 30% of that gives you that. On depreciation, those rates for depreciation that I was saying, you have to add them, please, after drawing them. Add them back. Why adding? Because depreciation is not in telling the flow of cash. That's why you add it back.
Okay.
And then what we have in year 0, of course, we spent this amount, the 900 million. So we put it here. Then these are the cash flows now. They are all in the future. You've seen that? Yes. Then how do you discount them? You discount them by 1 plus E, 1 plus R to the power N. What is our R for discounting? We said is a what? 14%, isn't it? So you will say for year 1, you say 1 divided by 1 plus E, 14%, which is 1/4, right? To the power 0. This will give you 1.002. That is for here. Then for year 1, you will say this to the power 1, right? It will give you this discounted factor. Then for year 2, you say 2 to the power 2. It will give you this. To the power 3 gives you that. To the power 4 that. You got it? Those are discounting factors. Now you have found your discounting factors. Then you can multiply this times the discounting factor, this times that times that. It will give you these cash flows that have been discounted. These are present values. So just add these, add what I have circled, minus this what is negative. It gives you a positive NPV. A positive NPV, right? A positive NPV. So since the NPV is positive, we accept the what? The project. Any question?
Okay. So it means, let's go back to the question.
Okay. Don't worry, be happy. Okay, it's here.
So it means when I'm asked to do the net present value, I have to take all these narrations: sales revenue, operating costs, tax allowable, depreciation, coming down up to dividend, right? Oh, the dividend you say is not necessary. Up to the interest cost.
So in short, we are saying, can you find the profit after tax? That's the message. Use this data from your knowledge of financial accounting. Look for profit after tax, because profit after tax is equivalent to the cash flows. In the question, if you are not given the cash flows, you can't find the present value. So you need to calculate for cash flows. How do you calculate the cash flows in such a scenario? Then work out for profit after tax. Any question?
I think it's clear.
You're good? What about the IRR? The internal rate of return. If you already find the first present value, the first NPV, the IRR becomes very low. Understand? It becomes very, very. Let me just get it. Yeah. I'm saying that if you found the first IRR, you get it, right? If you found the first NPV, which is positive, then you will need the other NPV, which shall be what? Negative. You need two NPVs for you to find the IRR. Two negative net present value. If the other one should be positive, the other one should be negative. So since your first NPV is positive, you are looking for the one that is what? Negative now. You get it, right?
Yes.
How do you find the one that is negative? There's nothing much that you're doing using the same cash flows. Can you discount those cash flows now at a different rate? At a different rate. Now, here is the take-home message. The rate is inversely related to the net present value. So if you increase this rate from where it is, the net present value will start coming down. They don't go in the same direction. And vice versa. If you reduce the rate, in this case, the rate we are talking about is the WACC, right? If you reduce that WACC, then the NPV will start growing up. So that simply means that if the NPV here is positive, for us to have a negative, should it reduce or increase? The NPV is supposed to be, it is supposed to reduce, right? Towards the negative. Remember the number line, zero positive numbers, yeah. So it should reduce, come towards the negative. For it to reduce, the R should what? Should increase. You get it, right? So if you are to increase your R, if you are to increase, for example, I did R at 90%, it was giving some negative NPV. When you do R at that rate, then you do the same thing that you are doing, 1 plus 1.90 in this case, to the power n, you understand, to get this, the discounting factors. You're following, right? Multiply them by this, then you have these cash flows, right? You will have these present values. Add the present values and deduct this negative from this 900 million. Then you have the NPV that is what? Negative. So in short, you can increase it, but there is no standard to say, can you increase it? It's fine. It keep on increasing until you find a negative. Understand?
Yes.
Then you have found a negative NPV. If you had found a negative here, then it could have meant that you had to reduce the error for you to find a positive NPV. Like that, they move in the opposite direction. That's the message. Now you have the two IRR. So all you need to find IRR is a positive NPV, and the rate that gives a positive NPV. The positive NPV was this one. The rate that gave us positive NPV was 14%, isn't it? Then you have the negative NPV, and the rate that gave us the negative NPV was what? It was 90%. So you use these four to come up with IRR. How do you use them? Here is a formula. There is this formula here that you should not memorize, but you must understand. How do you use this formula? What is A? This A. This is the rate, the small rate, which gives a positive NPV. That rate, which was 14% in our design, then I'll give you this, don't worry. Then this is a positive NPV. Like their actual amount, okay? The actual amount. Then this one is a negative what? Negative
NPV.
NPV. Yeah. Then B, this one is the rate that gives it a negative NPV. That's a definition.
Okay.
Then if you can get all those four, just four elements, you plug them into this formula properly like this, then you will have the rate. Now this rate, this is your IRR. Now listen carefully. How do you make a decision? If the IRR is greater than the cost of capital, our cost of capital is WACC in this case, isn't it? We know that WACC is cost of capital. Then you accept the project. It means that the return from the project is greater than the cost you incur. But if IRR is less than WACC, you got to reject the project.
Okay.
Okay. Because it means that the return you get is less than the cost that you incur. That's a summary of everything. Any questions?
No. I'm clear.